It's that time of year again. Today's topic, photographing Christmas lights. I'm Robert Schoch with another 3-minute photography tip. There's a wonderful street just a few blocks from my house where everyone decorates for Christmas. And I mean everyone. If you haven't seen it yet, click the link at the end of this video for an HD tour. What's the best way to photograph it? I've made a few observations. First, get there early. It turns out having a little blue sky left makes the picture much more interesting than if it were jet black. As time goes by, the sky gets darker, so go in for closer shots where the sky isn't visible anyway. Tip number 2. To capture the scene adequately, you'll need a fairly high ISO setting on your camera. The thing is, if you go too high, the picture will come out grainy, and no one wants grainy Christmas lights. I found with my DSLR, 1600 was just right. If you're using a point-and-shoot, ISO 400 may be the maximum usable setting. Find the ISO setting by consulting your manual. If your camera is getting too slow, meaning an ISO setting of 1600 isn't available, or smooth enough looking, consider using a tripod. Most cameras have a standard quarter 20-inch socket on the bottom that attaches to a screw on the tripod mount. Once the camera is locked down, you can use a lower ISO and not have to worry about motion blur. Tip number 4. Set your white balance setting to tungsten or incandescent, the little light bulb icon in the menu. This will keep the colors from coming out too orange. Here's a Photoshop simulation showing some of the other settings. Notice daylight and cloudy are way too orange. Tungsten will also give your sky the deep blue look I showed earlier. Finally, set your exposure to manual mode as shown in the previous video. With darkness surrounding much of the lights, the camera will tend to overexpose if left in automatic mode. At my ISO setting of 1600, I found I needed an f-stop around 2 and an exposure time of about an 80th of a second. If you've decided to use a lower ISO on tripod, try a 15th of a second as a good starting point. Use your screen to fine-tune the settings. Then it's just a matter of going out, taking your time to compose some of the interesting shots, and have some fun. Try some close-ups, some distant shots, and incorporate both far and near objects to give a sense of depth. Remember, the dark areas aren't interesting, so try to get lights in as many areas of your shot as possible. That's it for today's 3-minute photography tip. Be sure to subscribe so you'll be notified the next time I release a new video, and as promised, here's the link to my HD tour of Minerva Street. Thanks for watching.